college football this time. Here with the Aggies in year number 4. We will be starting. We are the preseason number 2 ranked team for the second time this series. Just taking a look at our schedule. We've got Louisville in the non-con this year. We start this season with 4 home games, which is quite nice. All pretty winnable. We got Oklahoma week 4. They have a really good quarterback in Cole Welliver. He could give us some trouble. But other than that, I like these first 3 games. Louisville went 6-7 last season, so they're very mid. Tennessee is here. They are a top 10 team on the road. Aaron Noland is Aaron Noland is a lock to be a top 3 quarterback in college football this year. He's going to be fully healthy. He's definitely going to give us some trouble. Then we host number 14, Florida. That's always a good battle. Brian Davey, the true sophomore, is the next DJ Lagway. 6'5". He was elite last season, even though he struggled against us. Arkansas is a ranked opponent. They could give us some trouble on the road. Same thing with South Carolina. They sneak in at number 21. It's always a close game with the Gamecocks. And then Ole Miss and Vanderbilt, some lesser-ranked conference opponents at home. We go to Texas for the Lone Star Showdown. We finally beat them last year. This year they go into the season unranked. And then we host Missouri State on Senior Day to end the year. Second time we've hosted the Bears to end the season. Taking a look at conference realignment, there was a little bit of the second shakeup in the conference realignment, a little bit of a change. So Stanford just went 1-11. They decided to leave the ACC. Cal follows them. They're FBS independents, and with the looming changes in the ACC as we get closer and closer to that 2031 season, where we could see Clemson, North Carolina, Miami, Duke, all these big dominoes fall. What's up, man? All these big dominoes fall. Cal and Stanford tried to beat the jump, and they're going to be independents joining Notre Dame now. That meant that the ACC went out and grabbed Cincinnati and West Virginia from the Big 12, 2 lesser programs, 2 Big East programs with UCF in the conference now. This conference is starting to look a lot more like the Big East of old. In the American, a little bit of a shakeup. You lose a few schools. You lose one school. You replace them with Connecticut. They join as a football-only member. They're no longer independent. The Big 12, they lose those 2 schools to the ACC, and they reach into the G5, or they reach into the Pac-12 to get Boise State. The Broncos spend just 2 years in the Pac-12 before getting an invite to a power conference over Washington State and Oregon State. Memphis gets the other invite. So they will be joining the Big 12. The Big 10 stays the same. CUSA stays the same. The MAC is the same. The Mountain West loses UNLV, who joins the Pac-12 to replace Boise. And the SEC is, of course, the same. Sun Belt is the same as well. So a slight conference shakeup, all started by Cal and Stanford ultimately electing to ditch those tough travel schedules, beat the mass exodus that is likely coming in 2031, and become independent programs. Taking a look at our team, because I know everybody's excited to see this quarterback battle. The 5-star redshirt freshman, Earl Rochelle, 6'5", 187, from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We saw him in the 1 game last season that he played in, and he was good. And look at him. He is as advertised with these skill caps. If we start him now, he could become a generational passer by the time he's a sophomore or junior. The thing about him is that he's not very mobile. He is a pure pocket passer. 75 speed, 58 strength. Even though he is the youngest in the room, he's football smart in the room as well. You got the young Gregory Ginn here as well. Ginn has never been the main guy, and he doesn't look like he'll be the main guy here, mainly just because he doesn't have the highest ceiling or the highest experience. but he does have a pretty high ceiling, and we have put him in games before. Over the past, last season, Ginn attempted 9 passes, did not look great, but he is still in this battle. Then Mike Hawkins. We saw Mike Hawkins in the conference championship, in the playoffs. When games mattered the most, he was our guy. The thing is, he's a senior, and he's also completely capped out. He's a pure runner, though. Like we said, we have not seen anything really great from him. He is a pure runner. He showed that in the playoffs last year with the injury to Eli Holstein, and he just wasn't really the guy. But he did take a jump in the offseason. 95 throw power is going to be huge. That was much better than it was last season. He's got the best throw on the run. He's that scrambling quarterback that we might just need to complete this roster. I think the battle here is going to be between Rochell and Hawkins. I think Ginn is going to go in as the clear-cut third string, but Earl Rochell and Mike Hawkins will battle for the number 1 QB spot. At running back, my goodness, we have a star. Amani Ogba missed some time in the conference championship. Like I said, in that playoff, we could have gone much deeper. We were just banged up at our skill positions. And Amani Ogba looks like he's going to be one of the premier backs in the country. This guy, as a true freshman, comes in to a star-studded running back room with Fluff Bothwell, Jadarian Price, Cedric Alexander in it. He's RB4, only has 50 yards, decides to enter the transfer portal, but then when promised the starting job at his old team, the former 5-star returns to Aggieland, where he has the best season of any Texas A&M running back since Devon Achane back in that 2022 season. He's playing on Sundays right now. He was also a receiving threat. Amani Ogba is one of the top returning backs in the country, and he's also complemented by his partner in crime, DeAndre Ryden. Don't rule out this guy. He's been on the roster since year 1, and last season he had 9 rushing touchdowns, 5'11", 218. He put on 3 more pounds this offseason. He's consistently getting bigger, starting to fill out almost a bruiser role at the halfback position. The problem is he's very similar to Amani Ogba. Similar size, similar play style. He's just he's slower. He's Amani Ogba but slower. So it's not like he's like 1B. He is the running back 2 in this room. But he is still going to get some time. As you see, he had about 400 all-purpose yards and 9 touchdowns last year. Cornell Anthrop is back, 5'9", 183. He is a speed back. This guy is small. Anthrop, the redshirt sophomore, normal development. We recruited him. Was, I believe, like the first player to commit in year 1. He had 12 carries last year. Did not look good. He's going to go in as running back 3. Raphael Biggers is back, the sophomore from all the way from Avon, Connecticut. He does have some room to grow, but you can tell he has normal development. Did only get 9 carries last year, but got a receiving touchdown and looked better than Cornell Anthrop, despite having worse ratings. The freshmen coming in are Kiki Alati, who looks like he could be Amani Ogba 2.0. Alati, he is so slow. He is like DeAndre Ryden 2.0. Impact development, but he is really slow. He is going to be a blocking, power, bruising back at 5'11", 217 as a freshman. I'm interested to see what we have in him. Glenn Stye is also here, the youngster 4-star recruit, only normal development, very low-end 4-star. His speed is already capped out. Everything else is close to capping out. I could see this guy entering the transfer portal after this season because he's not part of our long-term plans. At wide receiver, possibly the number 1 guy is going to be Reggie Johns, the transfer. Let me tell you something about Reggie Johns. This guy went off last year at Toledo, and we know what we can do with transfers from the MAC. Look at what we did last year with, what was his name? I'm stupidly blanking out. Anyways, Reggie Johns is that guy. 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns last season at Toledo. That is some of the best returning production in all of college football. He is going to be an absolute stud for us. Cordell Russell, that's the name. Yeah, that's what we did with Cordell Russell last year, and he did not have near this production or this just young, raw talent. I think Reggie Johns could be a star for us. Tristan Norman, another guy who's been on the roster since year one. Norman has never been in a big role. The highest he's ever been was wide receiver 3 in 2026. And so, yeah, he's got about 475 total yards on his career for Norman. But I think he's going to make a big jump this year. He's so sure-handed at 97 catching. He's very small, 45 strength, but he's fast. He's everything you want in a receiver. And then the elite development, Max LaBelle, 4-star recruit with elite dev trait. Last year as a freshman, this guy came in for 7 catches, 71 yards, and a tutty. He was weirdly outplayed by his fellow freshman George Mandarino, 6'5", 222. Could be looking at a move to tight end for Mandarino. Yeah, Mandarino had more yards, 4 catches, 113 yards, looked faster. But LaBelle had an insane offseason. Of course, that elite dev trait boosted his overall by 12. Hello. You've also got the true freshman, Jabu Rome. He is going to be Max LaBelle 2.0, very similar. LaBelle 6'5", 199. Jabu is 6'5", 198. These two together for the next few years is going to be crazy. Jabu is going to play a little bit this year, but look at those skill caps. The sky is the limit for him. And with elite development trait, he's going to get there quick. I expect him to have a minor role this year, but next year, this is going to be a superstar and moving forward. George Mandarino gets kind of lost in the rest of it. He's wide receiver 5. And then the 3-star, another big, tall guy, Leo Charles. I think you see a theme on the kind of receivers I like to get. He is slow. Leo Charles, he's not slow, 88 speed, but he just can't get any faster. 3-star with impact dev, likely off the team next year. At tight end, we've probably got the best one we've ever had. It's Jordan Washington. This is our Colton Vasek, our Amari Niblack. He came over from the bad guys. Washington has almost 1,000 career yards at Texas, including a year last year where he was a top tight end in the country. Leaves the Longhorns to come to Aggieland. That's the second time we've gotten a tight end to leave Texas and be our starter in the last 5 years. Amari Niblack is now fighting for a job in the NFL. Celeste Miles had a nice year last year. He's developing nicely. The main thing about him is he put on like 7 pounds. I need him to get bigger. 284 receiving yards last year is certainly, that'll play. He was our top receiving tight end. His partner in crime was Keody Armstrong. But I'm happy that we were able to bring in a guy who's a lot more of a sure starter. Even though Keody Armstrong put up a nice season last year, I think he will still have a small role on our team. Lamont Rogers is the starting left tackle. He is going to be a god over there. He's a senior. He's been in the mix ever since year 1. Javin James is going to start at left guard. Esendre Afua is actually going to be a right guard. He was very good last year. Former 5-star Hayden Lund is just kind of undersized and lost in the group. I think he's a transfer candidate. J.R. Sills, holy offseason. He goes up 13 overalls with his elite development trait. He is a nice replacement for Mark Nabu at center. Gideon Chukwuma is our number 1 backup O-lineman. He's also our long snapper. And then Jacob Ponton was bad with us last year, bad with Texas Tech the year before, but he's got great leadership. He wants to be a guy who plays on Sundays, and he's certainly got the talent. 91 overall, 6'8", 311. I'm expecting a breakout year from Ponton. Nigel Smith here at left edge rusher. He's going to be a rush D tackle for us as well. I like Nigel Smith quite a bit. Started out at Oklahoma, played in and out there his sophomore redshirt season. Last year at Texas Tech, similar thing. Wasn't the main guy over there at the left edge rusher position. He still has 4.5 career sacks and 10 TFLs. He's going to be a dog here at A&M, though. He's going to start. Jaden Scarlett's back. Landon Rink is back. Jared Darling is a transfer player. And then we also have Solomon Thomas over at right edge. Thomas, a 91 overall. Had a very nice offseason. Why did I say Thomas? Solomon Williams. Hello. Williams didn't play really his freshman, or no, his sophomore or freshman or sophomore season, I was right. But then last year, he was in and out. 3.5 sacks, 7 TFLs. Very solid player. He's another guy who's going to take a jump. Zach Gillen, redshirt freshman, former 5-star, is going to be in the mix. Chad Woodfork, former highly rated transfer from UTSA. Julius Gilliam, former 5-star, is going to be in the mix. Bob Austin, elite development trait. Darren O'Toole, former 5-star. And then TJ Purdy, impact development, another guy. All of these young players are here. D-tackle, we got Bryce Jenkins, the transfer. Jenkins, big fella, 6'5", 321. He is a good player, and boy, has he bounced around. 2025, his true freshman year at Maryland. Then went to Connecticut, put up 7 sacks. Last year at Buffalo, put up 3.5. Now he's at A&M. 4 schools. Transfer portal MVP. He's working his way back up. Dylan Evans is here. He has never really gotten significant playing time, but I like his size, like the way he plays. Last year, 2 sacks. He's got 8 career TFLs. He comes in there. Dante Simpson, former Miami transfer, had a nice offseason. Lamar Callis is a former 5-star. And then Christian Jackson is here as depth. Mike linebacker is going to be the transfer from Nebraska, Marvin Cruikshank. And then you've also got Manny Hayden. Demontre Trapuka was excellent for us as our Mike last year, sub-linebacker kind of guy. He's going to play a lot at the will linebacker position this season with these guys in the mix as well. Nicholas Clayton is a very good player. He plays a lot better at Sam. I forgot to move him there, but he's like an 83 overall Sam linebacker. He's going to play a lot. And then, yeah, by the way, he is a transfer player. We didn't homegrow him. Corners, Charles Lester comes in as a transfer. We always get some super highly rated transfers at this position, and he's no different. 5 interceptions last year for Bill Belichick at North Carolina. Gabriel Traore is back. He had a great year last year. And then the freshman, Alani Teo. Frederick Arma is a young guy. Jordan Pride is a depth piece. And Forrest Bragg, the #1 recruit in the country. He will play year 1 because, oh my God, he is going to be a beast in just a few seasons. Miles Davis finally gets his shot to be a starting safety. And then Rashad Johnson Jr. is probably one of our best returning players. The freshman kicker, Jamie Sosa, is going to be the guy right out the gate. 5'10", 168 from Katy, Texas, star development. One of the top kickers in the class. And then George Kareem, the walk-on freshman punter, doesn't look too bad either. I'm going to make sure he's the 12th man. Oh, isn't Laurent? Yeah, Laurent Burnett was the 12th man. Since he's not going to play and Kareem is, I'll switch up their numbers. George Kareem is the best walk-on the team. He is going to be number 12, representing the 12th man here in Aggieland. And that's going to be it for the roster. Taking a look at some of the best players around the league, we did have quite the shakeup in the transfer portal yet again. But George Yancey is insane, by the way. 96 throw power, 99 short, 99 medium, 99 deep, 99 on the run. Oh my God. George Yancey is going to be the #1 overall pick. Cole Welliver, like I said, he took a big jump. Was horrible in New Mexico. Went to Oklahoma, became great. The redshirt freshman Don Dorsey, former five-star, is going to get the go for Ohio State. C.J. Carr was a Heisman candidate at Notre Dame last year. He goes to LSU. Julian Lewis, the best quarterback in the portal, could have been a first-rounder. He's just going to back up Yancey this season. A.J. Brand is here. He had a great year. Bernard Battles did not play great last year, but he's looking like he's going to make a big jump. Keelan Russell, Drake Lindsey, Jake Wakefield. Elijah Olake is a guy we saw who's pretty good. Tanner Applewhite, the transfer from Florida State, gets the go for the Longhorns. Gio Lopez back for year 6. He is Bill Belichick's guy once again. And then Ryan Puglisi, another Heisman candidate last year, led Georgia to an undefeated regular season before getting injured for the playoffs, where Adam Matthews did his best impression of Nick Foles and led them to a 16-0 national championship. Puglisi says, I'm out, goes to Pittsburgh. Very interesting team for Pittsburgh. I think they have a chance to win their conference. Trey Owens is finally going to get a start for his team. DeMarcus Davis is a 4-year starter there as well. Kevin Likely, I like him quite a bit. The dual threat at UAB. As for some of the other top players in the country, Nathan Leacock and Dallas Wilson are the Heisman favorites right now. 2 returning stars at wide receiver. Caleb Odom transfers from East Carolina to LSU. He's going to be a beast. Joseph Lester, another good wide receiver. And then some other guys. David Stone, D tackle at Clemson. Coy Beasley is the top corner in the country. Jericho Johnson is a guy I really like, 6'4", 347. And then Tavares Sills, the back at South Carolina, is the best in the country going into this year. Taking a look at the Week 0 matchups, the top matchups sort by the ones that are going to be nationally broadcasted. Ohio State hosts Northern Illinois. This is the passing of the torch. Dylan Raiola just became the greatest college football player of all time. Micah Hudson is top receiver. Ohio State spent big on the top 2 transfer portal players, and they became 2 of the greatest players in the history of the sport. Now they host Northern Illinois. You're the number 3 team in the nation, just behind 2 schools. One of those schools is us. And you got a redshirt freshman starting at quarterback. Kennesaw State is a team that has had a top passing attack. Last year, they were the second best passing team in the country behind Ohio State. The year before that, in 2026, they were top 5 as well with J.C. French at the helm at quarterback. Kennesaw State, another good year, and I say they get an invite to the Sun Belt or even the American, any conference that's willing to take them because they've really made a jump. They weren't a particularly premier program in the FCS. They really struggled their first 2 years at the FBS level, but now they've found their footing and made quite the program there. Imagine what would happen if they went into Chapel Hill and upset Belichick's 17th ranked Tar Heels. ECU and Wake Forest is interesting. The Demon Deacons had an 11-win season 3 years ago. Since then, they've been horrible. Virginia Tech is a ranked team. They go at Maryland. Maryland with a 4th-year starter, Malik Washington at quarterback. Some gimmies here as well. Oklahoma hosting Colorado State. Cole Welliver is a top quarterback in the SEC at Oklahoma. They're unranked, though. Do they get in the rankings with the win over Colorado State? Maybe. UCF-FAU is a nice little rivalry in the non-con. Pittsburgh at UCLA is really interesting. Ryan Puglisi makes his Panther debut. I think they'll have no troubles going to UCLA. The Bruins, though, have had some nice seasons. We've seen them in the rankings pretty often. Utah at Wisconsin, 2 programs that used to be great in the late 2010s and even the early 2020s, but since then, over the last 7 years, these 2 programs have fallen off. Utah's one of the worst teams in the Big 12. Wisconsin's one of the worst in the Big 10. UNLV just got promoted to the Pac-12. They ended last year ranked. They're perennially in the college football playoff conversation ever since 2023. Washington, they got their senior quarterback, James McCauley, who is also a guy who's made his way up from the Pac-12 and Washington State to Washington. This is going to be a great game. Notre Dame at Purdue is a good rivalry. UTSA at Texas State's a great rivalry. Kansas, Hawaii is a fun little matchup, and then some FCS games down here. The game of the week is UNLV Washington. That's going to be a great game. I'm excited to see who wins. I've already done my recruiting for the day. You'll get to meet some of our recruits as we progress through the season because we've got a lot of highly rated blue chip guys we're throwing quite a bit of NIL money at. And it's first things first. It's time to check the scores from week 0. We know this is the part of the year where we get the most chaos. Ohio State shuts out Northern Illinois, but only scores 20 points. Otherwise done, Dorsey was as advertised. Walt Cash, the running back, had a rough day. Kyrie Reese outplayed him in that backfield. Dante Flemister was as advertised as well. A good day for Ohio State. They didn't try as much, but still only 20 points on the board as opposed to like they were putting up like 60. Bill Belichick takes care of business. East Carolina goes in and upsets Wake Forest. Looks like it's going to be another possible double-digit loss season for the Demon Deacs. Maryland does not get the upset over ranked Virginia Tech. Kent State upsets Rutgers. Oh my. This is the biggest win of the decade for the Golden Flashes. That's their biggest win in nearly a decade. The Golden Flashes go to a power conference opponent and get the win. This program in general has just been in the dump ever since 2022. But now look at them, they're back. And then how about Connecticut? Their first game in the American Conference since 2019. They were an independent for 10 years. Now they go to Syracuse and they beat them by 25. Big upset. Houston knocks off Tulsa in a rivalry matchup. Southern Mississippi with a big win. Ball State, UAB. Pittsburgh in a low-scoring matchup in Ryan Puglisi's Panther debut. Washington with a blowout victory. Notre Dame with a blowout victory. Texas State. Kansas puts 70 on Hawaii. The Hawaii cycle is Jamarcus Davis is a preseason favorite to be one of the top QBs in his conference, if not the best. The rest of the offense looks pretty good. The defense looks okay and sells the season. Like, we've seen Hawaii start the year ranked last season. My goodness, they let 70 up against Kansas. The Jayhawks make the statement. Now it's time to look at week 1. NC State at Iowa was a fun one. A couple of teams breaking in new quarterbacks. Rice against Tulane. Tulane was this close to getting an invite to the Big 12. It ultimately went to Memphis. But the Green Wave and then Washington State and Oregon State were some of the teams that barely missed out on getting that invite to the Big 12. Oklahoma State and Western Kentucky is a fun one. The game of the week, Duke at LSU. Number 5 against number 10, C.J. Carr in his first game starting for LSU. Duke will start a quarterback not named Darian Mensah for the first time this series. That's crazy to think about. Flashback to last season, Duke upset Florida this time. They went 2-0 last year against SEC opponents, or 2-1 that is, because they lost in the Natty to Georgia. But they beat A&M. They beat Florida. This team only has 5 losses since the season began, and 3 of those are in the college football playoffs. Duke has been the winningest college football team since this series started, which was not at all on my bingo card. C.J. Carr at LSU, though, I think they have the firepower to win this game. Give me the Tigers. Ohio State with another cupcake. Boise State against Cincinnati, the new Big 12 team against the new ACC team. This should be fun. And then you got Notre Dame against Pittsburgh. This is going to be a great one. Rivalry game. Notre Dame without C.J. Carr. With C.J. Carr, I think they win this game. But I like the Panthers so much. Ryan Puglisi is such a good quarterback. I think this is going to be a shootout. Number 8, Notre Dame. Number 15, Pittsburgh. This is a loaded week. Washington State, App State, Boston College at BYU, Syracuse needs a rebound after losing by 25 against Connecticut. Auburn and Georgia Tech in the Eric Singleton Bowl. You know, Georgia Tech is an interesting squad because ever since they lost Haynes King and some of those other highly rated seniors that they had in the first season or two, they've been really bad. Auburn's stuck with it. They've kind of built a new program there, even though their quarterback play hasn't been great. Give me the Tigers here to get a nice road victory. UCLA at Cal, rivalry game early in the season. Cal, an independent school. UCLA in the Big Ten. This should be a fun one. North Carolina, South Carolina, the rivalry renewed. Both these teams are ranked. Bill Belichick coaching the Tar Heels. I think this is going to be a great game. And then we host Louisville. A possibly a close game, but likely going to be way in the side of the number 2 ranked Aggies. Kentucky at Toledo. Toledo's upset 3 SEC schools in the past 2 years. And one of those being Kentucky. Could it happen? We got the Rio Grande rivalry between New Mexico and New Mexico State. West Virginia and Tennessee. That's a fun game. I think in Charlotte, North Carolina as well. I think Tennessee pulls off the victory pretty easily, though. Kent State goes to Arkansas State. Arkansas State was by far the best team in their conference last year. Had some very, very highly rated former transfer blue chip prospects that all performed very well last year and helped them have a great season. USC Florida. This was the national championship a few years ago. Number 4 ranked USC starting Trey Owens. Owens is a 5th-year quarterback. He spent the time as being backup or 3rd string at Texas for 3 years. Last year he was a backup at USC. Now he's going to start his first game. Owens has barely even taken a snap at the college football level, and he is old. On the other side, you got Brian Davey, the true sophomore. He's about as young as it gets at Florida, and we've seen a lot of him. Last year he was elite. In the swamp, number 14 Florida hosting number 4 USC. Then number 12 Alabama hosting number 9 Miami. George Yancey, and probably the best roster in college football, start the season with a test hosting Miami. Miami is starting Judd Anderson, the quarterback who's another senior, 5th-year guy who's just been in the system. He's never started a game before. George Yancey is one of the most seasoned and the most talented player in college football. Give me Alabama here to get a quote-unquote upset. Georgia at Memphis is a Power 5 matchup. Georgia's number 1 in the nation. Should be an easy win for the Bulldogs. A welcome to the Power 5 type game for Memphis. And then some other cupcake games down the road. Indiana at Michigan. Bryce Underwood entering his senior season. He's a 4th-year starter. And then a plethora of FBS versus FCS games that maybe 1 or 2 of them give us a shocker upset. But other than that, that's going to be the slate for week 1. Our story, however, branches off. We have a very tight quarterback battle. In the offseason, it began as Mike Hawkins versus Gregory Ginn versus Earl Rochelle. Earl Rochelle, the former 5-star pocket passer. The Slim Reaper, 6'5", 187. Then Gregory Ginn, he's waited his time. He's neither the experience nor the upside, but he's learned the system. He's a guy who we've kind of had on deck for a while, not really knowing what our future is with him and kind of assuming he would transfer out if the opportunity hadn't presented itself yet. But look, he's stuck with us, and now he's got a chance. Mike Hawkins, the 3rd guy, started as a true freshman in a few games at Oklahoma, just wasn't ready. Then transferred to A&M a few years later. Last year, finally got his chance again, but it was in the college football playoffs, and he got humiliated. He was horrible passing the ball. But now he's got a chance for redemption in a 5th season. The battle is down to 2 now. It's Hawkins against Rochelle. Rochelle, impact development. He is a superstar, and he's just in his 2nd year of college football. He's a freshman. But I think Hawkins is just as good. They've got similar throwing stats. Hawkins with that crazy speed as well. Both are going to get playing time, and a starter will be named. Yeah, Coach Elko said a starter will be named after the game next week against FCS. The thing is, you look at this has happened in previous times with Texas A&M. Most recently in 2022, when the Aggies had several quarterbacks with a chance, the five-star freshman Connor Wigman, the transfer Max Johnson, and the starter Haynes King. And they went through all three before finding the right one. Their first two choices were wrong. So we're hoping to make the right choice and name the right guy this season. Anyways, let's go into week 1. We host Louisville. The Cardinals went 6-7, 6-7 last season.
They say games
meaning
are played
they're
on
nothing
the field
special.
and not on paper, and that's a good
However,
thing,
we got to stay on our toes. It's Texas A&M's bread and butter. We ranked very highly and then lose a game they absolutely couldn't. Kyle Field is blocking as the Aggies are ranked second in the country. That's tied for the highest they've been ranked to start a season since the year 2000, tied with the year 2026, in which they went 4. And finished the year barely ranked. This year, we're hoping to make the college football playoffs. Here come the Aggies. Actually, let me turn off commentary so you guys don't have to hear my commentary overlapping with that of Reese Davis. Alrighty. Now we're ready to get things started. With the kick return, Earl Rochelle is going to be the quarterback here on the first drive. The give, it's Amani Ogba. Amani Ogba, he is going to be a star for us. Like I said, he's going to carry this team quite a bit. He's going to put us on his back in this quarterback battle. Amani Ogba picking up the first down. That's the first Aggie first down of the season. Hopefully of many. Look at all the star players in the field. Play action. Rochelle scrambling. This has been his element. But look at that. Earl Rochelle picking up the first down with his legs. I thought I'd never say that. We're 3 plays in to his Aggie career as a starter. And there he throws the incompletion. Rochelle's first pass of the year. Intended for Johns. It's incomplete. Here's the snap. Rochelle throwing it. It's Jordan Washington. The transfer from Texas. It's broken up. Third and 10. Rochelle throwing. It is dropped by Amani Ogba. So on 4th and 10, we got a decision to make. I'm going to keep the offense out there. Rochelle is 0 for 3 passing. He needs to thread the needle. And there is caught. What a throw. A dot fit in by Rochelle to Jordan Washington, the transfer. Here's a throw. Tristan Norman makes the grab in stride. First down, Aggies. As Earl Rochelle moves the chains. Rochelle to give. Amani Ogba up the middle. Amani finds room down to the 3. Javin James is injured. The left guard will have to go out. Rochelle snaps it. And he's sacked. Amani Ogba's injured as well. That's not good to see. Raphael Biggers is actually the one who comes in. Very interesting. Rochelle sets his feet and finds Jordan Washington, who's also injured. injuries everywhere right now for the Aggies. Here he's got Johns, touchdown. Maniagba is not going to return anytime soon. Reggie Johns, the transfer from Toledo, one of the top leading receivers in college football, makes the grab for the score. Here's the snap. Rochelle sets his feet, throws. It's caught. No, dropped by Keody Armstrong. DeAndre Writing is the back. We saw him a lot last year. He had 9 rushing touchdowns, but wasn't particularly efficient. I mean, 3.9 yards a carry. He thought he'd enter the portal, but he decided to stay. Here's the snap. The bullet. It's for Johns. Reggie Johns picks up 8. We'll have to punt it away. And we get it back. 3rd down and 3. Writing is the back. In opposing territory. The give. DeAndre Writing pushing forward. It's the first down. He's got the first. Here's the snap. Rochelle. Plenty of time. Throws. It's caught. Max LaBelle. Rochelle to LaBelle. As the 2 second-year players connect. Celeste Miles makes the grab. He was one of our pass catchers last year as possibly our starting tight end. As there he makes the grab, the absence of Jordan Washington is filling it red. There's a pass. It's caught by Max LaBelle. We continue to move down the field with Earl. Here's the snap, the throw. Tristan Norman makes the grab. He's tackled from behind at the 6. Earl Rochelle, 9 of 13 today. He's completed 5 straight passes. Rochelle snaps it, throws. He's got the open man, and it's caught. Celeste Miles with his 4th career receiving touchdown. And Earl Rochelle already has 2 here in the first quarter. Amani Agba has returned at halfback. What in the world? Here's the give. Agba. 3rd down. What? Okay. So Hawkins is in the quarterback. The give. DeAndre Writing. 1st down, Aggies. Hawkins comes in to be the QB. I don't know what's going on with the subs, but here's the give. Writing again. DeAndre Writing moving the chains. How about DeAndre Writing doing his thing? Rochelle back in. He's going to scramble. Earl Rochelle is very slow. He only picks up a yard there. Hawkins in the game at quarterback. And he gets swarmed. Mike Hawkins will lose 8 on the play. His first play this season, he gets rocked. 3rd and forever for Mike Hawkins. Hawkins throwing, and it's caught. Max LaBelle, 1st down. Hawkins scrambling. Hawkins throwing, and it's caught. Max LaBelle, touchdown Aggies. So how about Mike Hawkins coming out and showing some promise for us as we'll get it back. I don't know what's wrong with the auto subs. It's killing me. Hawkins delivers a shot to the sideline. It is caught. And there's going to be pass interference. And one for Tristan Norman, who makes the grab. As we are absolutely demolishing these Louisville Cardinals right now. Hawkins to scramble. Mike Hawkins, he's fast, and he's down to the 3-yard line. Holy cow, why is Glenn Stein? Hawkins rolling out, throwing, and it's caught. Tristan Norman. So each quarterback now with 2 passing scores. And this battle looks really tight right now, folks, as both guys are playing well. Okay, Cornell Anthrop just got a kick return tutty. We're up 35-7, and it's not even halftime yet. 15 seconds to play in the half. Hawkins the give, it's Ryden. Hate to see Amani Ogba injured. Because imagine how good we'd be doing if he was on it, if he was in. Oh my god, he is in. So is Earl Rochelle. Rochelle, the give, it's Amani Ogba. First down, Aggies. How about Amani Ogba returning from the injury just in time? Rochelle throws, it's caught for Max Lavelle. Timeout Aggies with 1 second to play in the half. Aggies up 35-7. Here's a give for Amani Ogba. He will pick up the first down right before halftime. So at half, Texas A&M leads 35-7. This has been a blowout. But mainly, we've seen both quarterbacks, and much to our surprise, they both played elite football. They both look like worthy SEC starters at this level. The problem is, it's just making it that much harder to name a starter. Lakers in 5. Here's a throw. It's broken up from Rochelle, intended for Max Lavelle. Jordan Washington's back, so we're finally getting healthy. Amani Ogba, huge speed boost off the line with a 6-yard gain. How about Amani Ogba? 8 attempts for 62 yards today. He's been restrained by his injuries, but he's still been able to play great football. Jordan Washington can't get it as it's deflected at the line. We're going to go for it. I want to see if Earl Rochelle can step up, rise to the challenge, and make this play. Rochelle lobbing it up. Tristan Norman. This is a once-it-all type play, and he got it. Earl Rochelle puts it on the dime for Tristan Norman. And this quarterback battle just got even more intense. Earl Rochelle continues to deal right now as he's in the zone. Norman, side of the end zone, can't find him again. It was just out in front of him as now on second down. Rochelle will give it. Amani Ogba. He'll get 2. Here's the snap. Rochelle throwing. It is caught. Norman breaks like 4 tackles. He's in for the touchdown. What a play by Tristan Norman. There were 3 defenders in the area, and he not only caught it, but he somehow got out of there and put it in for a touchdown. It's 42-7 as the Cardinals are getting their butts walloped right now. Thank goodness the auto subs are fixed, and Rochelle is going down for a sack. He comes out of the game as Mike Hawkins now comes in. Hawkins to give. It's Amani Ogba. Amani Ogba says, "Get off of me." 7 yards for Ogba. who in just 10 carries is already up to 71 yards on the day. Hawkins, the snap. He fires, and it's picked off. That might have just sealed Earl Rochelle's job as the starting QB. Dion Sheed with the interception. And now on 2nd and 2, Mike Hawkins he's in panic mode. He's got to make a great play if he wants to still be considered as the starting quarterback. Lobbing it up. He might have just done it. Back slip. Nope. It's tipped and intercepted. That wasn't his fault, but Hawkins looks devastated. He's in his final year of college football. It looks just about like he's going to be right in the bench. Hawkins play action, scrambling on the run. He'll throw. It's caught. Max LaBelle, first down. Hawkins goes to the sideline. I don't know if we'll see him again. Rochelle throwing. This one is caught. Jordan Washington with a short game. That'll bring us to the 4th quarter. I feel like after this drive, we're going to see backups as it's 42-7. Gregory Ginn seems to be getting loose on the sideline. He didn't think we'd see him until next week. But as Amaniaco loses 3, it looks like we're going to get to see the 3rd quarterback in the room today. Rochelle, the snap. He's lobbing it. Oh no! Norman almost went up and got it. I believe there's pass interference there. Norman's made some great plays today. He seems much improved. As he kind of fell down the depth chart last year, he's back up this year. We're accepting it. First down at the 24. There's a lob pass. It is dropped. Reggie Johns, the transfer, can't corral it. Oh my. Earl Rochelle put it on the dime there. That's a touchdown if Tristan Norman is trying to make that catch. Here's a jet sweep for Johns. He'll get 3. So now it's 3rd down. Rochelle throwing incomplete. So 4th and 7. We'll kick the field goal. We now go up 45-7. Kicker Jamie Sosa got his first action. All right. So now on 3rd down and 3, this will be the last play for the starters. Here's the snap. Ogba gets it. First down, Aggies. They move the chains.
That's good for a fighting Texas Aggie.
Again, gives it for Ryden. Ryden almost got the stiff arm off there. So here, Gregory Ginn, he's got Johns and then Jabu Rome also. Again, throwing. It's picked off. So 3 interceptions today for Louisville, despite the blowout loss. Mainly because we were just trying to see what we have in our quarterbacks, not really a care in the world about the statistics just yet. Because our main guy did well. Again, throwing, it's caught. Reggie Johns picks up the first down.
That's good for a fighting Texas Aggie.
Again, quarterback wrap play. Up the middle, first down. Juke move, he's off to the races. Gregory Ginn inside the 20. It's a 20-yard scamper for our QB. I want to hit Jabu Rome here. Ginn scrambling. He likes Rome a lot. He's going to make that throw. It is caught. A dart for Jabu. The elite development freshman in the end zone with his first career score. And now with just a minute left, there's the give for Ryden, who will lose 2. Cornell Anthrop comes in the game halfback. Again, lobbing it up, that's out of bounds. 3rd and 12 now. Gregory Ginn scrambling. He'll throw in 4th and 12. He might as well go. But yeah, I think it's a landslide who should be quarterback 1 at this point. Mandarino almost got it. It's 52-7 right now. And that's going to be the game. Texas A&M with a statement win. Earl Rochelle is QB1. As we move forward, and yeah, things look great. I love the way we played. The defense was excellent. I didn't even see the stats there. Earl Rochelle was amazing. Like, Hawkins completed a lot of his passes. He looked good. But then he made those 2 big mistakes. Receiving, Tristan Norman led the way. Then LaBelle. Reggie Johns, he was okay. Jordan Washington. Jabu got the touchdown. Blocking. Afua and Rogers gave up sacks, but it is what it is. Sacks, Solomon Williams had 1. Tackles, 7 for Rashad Johnson. Demontre Trapuka. Interceptions, we had 1 for Johnson, 1 for Ventrell Hilton. How about that? Here, yeah, by the way, for our scheme, I think the 4-2-5 is definitely fine. We're going to go here to week 2. Things are looking great for us. Like, we just had a huge blowout victory, and now we get to play an FCS school. Gregory Ginn wants to transfer. I mean, that's good for him. I forgot to recruit last week. It is what it is. Taking a look at the board, we're going after quarterback Deontay Carver from Paris, California. Not anymore. He's going to go to LSU. Kenyon Pettis, Ben Biera. This is where we remove a lot of prospects. I hate this glitch. You know, the game is getting more buggy. Like, there weren't too many bugs, like, with just, like, not being able to see stuff or control stuff, and now there are. Adonis Keys is not looking good. I'm going to keep him on. Duke Osbin, I'm going to keep him on because I want him. Devin Cummings, Brian Hayes, and Boudreaux. Afa, this guy I'm going to leave out. Moffitt, Wusu, Cardosa. Take off Cherry. Everything here looks fine. Boom, boom, boom. Alex McPhee, we're not going to get. Not going to get Afa Motuapaka. Brian DeLuca, huge lead. Floyd Torre, we're not going to get. Jacob Cantwell, we're not going to get. Wiggins, Lamone, and then Matthew Reshot, we're also not going to get. Dang, I want Brian Bullock, but frickin' North Carolina, stupid Bill Belichick wants him more. Ready for visit, Adonis Keys. I'm going to send the house on him. Before anything else, we just want to send the house on Adonis Keys. Then bring him in week 3 against Louisiana Lafayette. Or regular just Louisiana it is now, I guess. Jalen Wiggins, the Will linebacker, we're looking good for him. I'll bring him in week 3, talk about how good the SEC is to play in. Then I'm going to go look for another quarterback prospect. Or just any 5 stars in general. Oh my. Richard Stamer. That's our guy. Richard Stamer. 6'3", 220, pocket passer. That's my quarterback right there. That's the one. He's the Mike Hawkins replacement. Alrighty, so we are here. Let's look at what happened last week. What's going to happen this week? I saw Duke beat LSU. Duke is too good in this game. Holy cow. NC State beats Iowa. Tulane, Oklahoma State. Duke beats LSU in a classic. The Tigers only move down 3. Duke moves up to number 3. Ohio State moves down to number 4 after another solid but not elite win. Boise State, big statement there in the Big 12 now, and they're winning games. They're ranked at number 22. Pittsburgh, what I tell you, they beat Notre Dame. Ryan Puglisi already has his squad in the top 10. App State upsets Wazoo on the road. Syracuse with a nice bounce back. Auburn with a close victory. Oklahoma, that's a little too close for comfort. 4 points over Temple is crazy. I know Temple's been much better in this series than they are in real life. It's North Carolina, Bill Belichick's squad knocks off South Carolina in that elite run game. We obviously had the blowout win. UAB in a sucker against Jacksonville State, 13-9. The Blazers are now in the top 20. UMass, oh God. The Minutemen go to Boulder and knock off Colorado. Deion Sanders, he's trying to get his squad back up to speed after a horrible loss. Julian Lewis transfers away to be a backup, and this program's in shambles. Kentucky finally finds a way to beat Toledo. Air Noland gets a victory over West Virginia. Clemson with a huge victory, 54 bomb on Troy. Kent State almost pulls off another one. USC knocks off Florida, but they do move down a spot because of the big Duke victory. Oh my God, George Yancey can't win. Alabama, they've got the greatest quarterback of all time, like the build. He's got the best. They have the most talented player I've ever seen in this game. And they can't beat Miami at home. Miami moves back into the top 10. Georgia gets a win. Mizzou with a win. Connecticut loses. Texas with a win over a terrible Louisiana Tech team. That's a bottom 5 program in the country right now. Michigan squeaks out. And then did we have any FCS over FBS upsets this week? Kansas offense is humming, as is Washington's these last 2 weeks. TCU, Maryland with a shutout. Any FCS? Oh, Wyoming almost gets beaten. Bowling Green State is now 1-1 after a win in week 0, but then a loss to FCS. Arkansas, ranked Arkansas, only beats their FCS opponent by 3. Oh, God. Oh, my. Texas Tech. So only one FCS over FBS upset. Going into week 2, let's see what's up here. Michigan State Rutgers is an interesting one. Rutgers got cooked by Kent State. So give me the Spartans in that one. BYU at Oregon State's a fun one in the non-con. Purdue, Wake Forest, battle of the stinkers that wear black and gold. West Virginia, Virginia is a fun one. Bowling Green, Minnesota. Bowling Green just lost to an FCS school. USC coming off of a huge win over Florida in the national championship from a few years ago rematch. They play Washington, one of the hottest squads in the country right now. On the road, this should be a fun game. Trey Owens with a test. Memphis, they just got blown out by one SEC school. Now they go to another ranked one, but one that only beat an FCS opponent by 3 last week. Possible upset as Memphis joins the Power 5. Hawaii, UCLA, another one that's played annually. This should be an interesting one. It was not very close last year when it was I believe, a ranked battle. Kennesaw State, Missouri State. Kennesaw should win this one, despite the fact that Missouri State's 2-0. Texas at Notre Dame is a fun one. Notre Dame, the wheels would fall off if they lost this week against Texas. They just don't look the same without C.J. Carr. They beat Purdue comfortably, but anyone could do that. Then you lose to Pittsburgh. So Notre Dame, they're 15th. You start the year 1-2, things are going to look rough. The Cy Hawk Trophy this week, Iowa trying to get in the win column. Iowa State is ranked. That would be a big win for them. Vanderbilt and SMU is an interesting one. Texas Tech, Mississippi State in the Mike Leach Bowl. Colorado just lost to UMass. They go to a still-ranked Florida team. Brian Davies going to have a field day there, is my guess. Clemson is now ranked. They go to NC State. TCU and Duke, a ranked battle. Duke just beat LSU. This should be no trouble for them. Oregon hosts Baylor. Ohio State at Alabama. Ohio State, a team that has played cupcakes, and they're 2-0. Bama, a team that just lost to Miami in the non-con. Now they got to play Ohio State. If George Yancey starts the year 0-2, I don't know. It's impossible. Kent State, Kentucky. This would be the funniest thing ever if Kent State could pull out the victory. And then some other FCS matchups. Yeah, the big matchup, the title card is USC at Washington. I would say Ohio State, Bama, but Bama just lost. So that's understandable. We play FCS. Let's beat them by 1,000,000. All right, so we host Lamar University this week. And here comes Earl Rochelle, the newly crowned Texas A&M starting quarterback. Here's Amani Agba. Agba bouncing off tackles, only getting 1. He should be getting 10 yards of carry against an FCS opponent. Earl Rochelle, the snap. Rolls out, throws. It's blocked. Jordan Washington. Transfer from Texas gets 4. Now 35. That one is fit into Max LaBelle. You see, that's where Mike Hawkins would have thrown an interception. He doesn't have the ball placement skills to put that in between the two defenders. Here's the give. Amani Agba out to the outside, picks up 6. The Aggies are now past the 50. Rochelle snaps it. They set up a screen to Agba. Amani's off the races. First down. Up and over as he goes out of bounds. Hurdling. Raphael Biggers checks in running back. He will block. Here's the throw. It's caught by Tristan Norman, that is. Norman turns it upfield and picks up the first. Here's the snap. Reggie Johns makes the grab. No, he dropped it. And Jacob Ponton is hurt. Reggie Johns has played like shit for a guy that got 1,300 yards last year at Toledo, a team that can beat SEC opponents. He's bad. Touchdown, Amani Agba. That's his first of the season. First of many is Amani with a receiving score. Rochelle snaps it. Looks short. Another pass to Agba, who's been busy in the receiving game today. 3 catches, including a touchdown. RPO pass, it's Reggie Johns. Johns going to pick up the first down. Here's the give. Amani Agba, 8-yard gain. He's now got 4 carries for 21 yards and 3 catches for 35. Agba juke move, first down. Finds his way through the blockers. Oh my goodness. That was not at all the route I told Jordan Washington to run, but he improvised it and makes a diving play. How about that for your first Aggie score? As Jordan Washington is in the end zone. Ogba on the outside lapel. There is the throw it. It's blocked. Tristan Norman. Norman gets 5. It's an FCS. Somebody's got to get open. That one is hauled in. No, dropped again. Reggie Johns. He's so bad. Why is he horrible? Rochelle rolling out. Thought about it. Now he's going to make a different read. Holy cow. That was almost intercepted. Intended for Tristan Norman. 4th and 5. This is an FCS opponent, so we're going to go for it. Washington makes the grab, but it's not enough for the first, so we turn it over on downs. Not every play is going to be a touchdown. FCS gets 3. Here's a toss out to Amani Ogba. He'll only get 1. Here's a pass. Jordan Washington, first down. Washington gets hit at the 40. But it's a first down for the Aggies. They move the chains yet again. Damn, FCS is slumped. Here's another pass. Washington again. It's a 6-yard gain for JW. Quick screen pass for Norman. He'll only get 1. It's 3rd and 3. Liking the look here for Amani Ogba. We'll give it to him. Amani Ogba, first down Aggies. Pass, Jordan Washington with his, 7 catch? 6, 7? Rochelle snaps it for play action. Throwing it out front. That's a dot. Put it on the dime for Tristan Norman, who couldn't corral it. But my goodness, that was an absolute missile. Reggie Johns is open over the middle of the field. First down for Reggie. As Rochelle is 15 of 19 passing. He has been excellent today. Rochelle to give. Amani Ogba with room to run. Oh my! He just got wrecked. Second 5. They directly snap it to Ogba. He will get 3. Play action, lobbing it up here. And it's nearly intercepted. Dropped by the defender in the back of the end zone. 4th and 2 from the 28. I fully trust Amani Ogba to pick up this first down, as he will not. FCS, what did I say this was? Lamar University thumps Amani Ogba up at the line of scrimmage. He won't get anything there. So now we're still only up 14. We were up by 35 at this point. Rochelle scrambled, picking up the first down. Something does not do very well, but still he did it. Here's the give. Amani Ogba. Long lead will only get nothing. Here's the give. It's Ogba again. Gaining a yard. That's it. Here's the snap. The throw. It's up and over. Dropped by Reggie Johns. He's so horrible. Another drop for Johns, who's just been pitiful this season. We'll look his way here. He makes the grab in stride, thank God. Goes up and over. So He's able to make up for it with a good play there. Get him off the field. He's off the field already. Here's the throw. Celeste Miles makes the grab. And we go to the 2-minute mark. Second and 5 now. 5 wide out. Again, Reggie Johns makes the grab. He actually makes the grab. Bobby Rome will come in for him next play. Rochelle rolling around. Nowhere to go, scrambling. Gets out after a 4-yard gain. That's not horrible. Washington, touchdown, his second of the game. Jordan Washington makes it a 21-3 lead. And we get it back. An interception by the transfer. Charles Lester results in a first down. There's a drag. Jabu Rome, the freshman, making the play. Seconds to play in the half. Rochelle snaps it to give for Amani Ogba. Juke move, bounces off, first down, timeout Aggies. 13 carries for 59 yards is certainly not where I thought Ogba would be at this point. I thought he would be a lot more efficient than that. Play action. Rochelle somehow on his feet, fumbles, and it's picked up by the offense. It is a big sack for defense here for Lamar. And we're going to make it 24-3 at halftime. Weirdly not blowing these guys out by as much as we blew out Louisville without a starting quarterback, which is interesting. Here from our own 5 to start the second half. The give, it's Amani Ogba. Gets stonewalled after just 1. Rochelle, oh my God, he had an open Jordan Washington. With the right blockers, that goes all the way for a 3rd touchdown for Jordan. Here's the snap. The throw, it's Washington. Can't make the grab. We'll punt it away. All right, we get it back. Fumble was recovered by Gabriel Traore. Here's the pass, knocked away from Jabu Rome. Here's the throw, fits it in there to Tristan Norman. First down, Aggies. FCS has completed 1 pass. We've completed 20-something. Oh my. Max LaBelle, caught. Touchdown. And the Aggies with 22 complete passes. The Cardinals with 1. Oh my God. 19-yard run by Amani Ogba. I didn't even need to play that. We're up 38-3 right now. We are absolutely flipping dominant. Here's the give. It's Ogba. Juke move. First down, Aggies. Up-tempo offense for Texas A&M. Rochelle keeps it on the speed option. He'll pitch it out to Amani Ogba, who makes the grab and picks up the first down.
That's good for a Fighting Texas Aggie.
Rochelle snaps it. He sees Jordan Washington. Washington up and over. Washington with the hurdle. He is putting up a round 1 level day. 8 catches, 77 yards, and 2 touchdowns for a tight end is certainly worthy of Sunday consideration on day 1 of the draft. Right in with the 2-yard carry. That's his first of the day. This will be the last play of the quarter, and it's a Celeste Miles touchdown. So 3 touchdown catches from tight ends today as Rochelle connects. As we start the fourth quarter, this is going to be the last drive for the starters. Yeah, Amani Ogba's day is already done. Here's the snap. Norman will get the catch, and he won't. He'll drop it. Rochelle snaps it. The pass, right in. Juke move, right in. With a nice play for the first down. Rochelle, 25 of 35 passing today. He's been amazing. Gordon Washington, again. How is their quarterback 2 of 12? That's hilarious. Wow, that outside corner is so good. His awareness is crazy. Makes those adjustments. There's a pass to DeAndre Ryden for the first improvisation from Rochelle. It's his 27th completion. And he's also now over 300 yards passing. Here's the give. Ryden picks up the first down. DeAndre Ryden's kind of doing whatever he wants right now. Here's a lob pass. It's going to be intercepted. Rochelle's first turnover of his career. R.C. Glenn with the pick, and that's going to end Rochelle's day. And they will score. Actually, yeah, we'll let Rochelle throw one more pass. It's going to be Reggie Johns holding right. Yeah, here they come. Mike Hawkins in a quarterback. The give for Ryden. 4th and inches.
No gain on the play. 4th down coming up. Music note! Music note! Here we go! Tanner!
Hawkins the snap. He'll roll out. Throwing it right in. Makes the grab. First down. Where's that Armstrong? Yeah, it's Keody Armstrong.
That's good for a fighting Texas Aggie.
Quarterback keeper. Hawkins. Mike Hawkins picks up the first. We know how good he is with his legs.
That's good for a fighting Texas Aggie.
Hawkins the snap. Rolling out now. Has the open man. It's caught in stride. Reggie Johns.
That's good for a fighting Texas
I want Jabu Romas. Thank you. Here's the snap. Hawkins rolling around. There's a catch. First down by Celeste Miles. Hawkins will snap it. The give for DeAndre Ryden, and it's going to be a loss of 3. We're going to hit the 2-minute warning of this football game, not winning by as much as we were last week, which is kind of crazy to me. But it is what it is. Here's the snap. Hawkins goes forward. Then, oh my God, I thought he was going to improvise and throw it. He was past the line. That would have been a starter-worthy play if he were to get that to Jabu Rome. Here he's not going to get it to Jabu, because I thought he did. We're going to go for this, because there's no reason not to. 4th and 12. Hawkins hit as he throws, incomplete. All of a sudden, we don't know how to block. All right, we're going to get the win, 45-9, over our FCS opponent, Lamar University. Earl Rochelle with a great day. Weren't able to run the ball as efficiently as I'd like, but it was still a great day. All around for our guys. Taking a look at the season stats so far, Rochelle, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick through 2 games is certainly pretty good. Ryden's been good. Ogba's been good. Receiving, Norman, LaBelle, Washington, Johns, all over 100 yards through 2 games. Blocking, Ponton, like I said, he's making that jump. No sacks given up yet in 138 snaps. Sacks, 1 for Williams, 1 for Woodfork. Picks, 1 for Johnson, 1 for Davis, 1 for Lester, 1 for Hilton. And tackles, Rashad Johnson is quickly becoming our top player, or he already is our top player on defense. All right, we host Louisiana this week. Time to take a look at the recruiting trail. Duke Ausbin and Adonis Keys are not looking good. That means Devin Cummings has likely warranted a hard sell. Actually, let's just look at visits. Nobody's ready for a hard sell yet. Or no, yeah, hard sell. Cummings, come in, proximity to home. Ryan Bullock, come in, championship contender. And I think that's going to wrap things up for today. If I can scrounge around for 10 more points, that would be excellent. Yeah, Matt Love, perfect. Give me these 10 points and I'll schedule another visit for week 4. Ooh, I can hard sell you too. That's clutch. They're all A-. I'll talk about playing time. Alrighty. So let's take a look at the games from last week, how things went. Michigan State wins, BYU wins, Purdue puts a spanking on Wake Forest, who just sucks. Virginia with a high-scoring game. USC beats Washington, so they're now 3rd in the country. Arkansas, again, they've won their games by a combined 6 points, but they are 2-0. Oh my goodness, Hawaii UCLA was a classic. The Bruins get the win. Miami, close win over USF. They might not be as advertised. Missouri State upsets Kennesaw State. Texas shuts out Notre Dame. The Irish are no longer ranked. They score 0 points at home. Vandy SMU was a shootout. Texas Tech Mississippi State was a shootout. Florida wallops Colorado. Clemson with a close win. Old Dominion upsets ranked Virginia Tech. That's possibly their biggest win in school history. And TCU upsets Duke. So the Blue Devils go to Death Valley and get a win, but they lose against the Horned Frogs. Keelan Russell is the real deal there at TCU. Oregon with a win. Bama with a win. They're back on track. Indiana, oh my goodness. Kansas offense has scored 52 points or more every game. Any FCS over FBS upsets here? I don't believe so. Ryan Puglisi and company drops 66. Nevada loses to an FCS opponent. Ohio lost to an FCS opponent last week. They beat their rivals Marshall this week. And yeah, let's go into week 3, where Duke goes to Temple. Temple was a team that's been good historically recently. The wheels could really fall off for the Devils if they lose that. Arkansas and Notre Dame is super interesting, because we don't know what Arkansas is. They started the year ranked. They're 16th, but they've played an FCS school in Memphis and won by a combined 6 points. Notre Dame, their only win is Purdue. They've lost to Pitt and lost to Texas, who are 2 great teams. They got manhandled by Texas. The Apple Cup is here. Memphis hosting Mississippi State. Is that their third SEC school they got to play? It's crazy. Cincinnati, Boston College. Missouri State with a chance to go 4-0 here as well. Pittsburgh is ranked 7th. They're in a rivalry game against Syracuse. That'd be a big upset for the Orange. South Carolina's back to being ranked. Michigan's in the top 10. Indiana's been rolling. Two offenses that have been surprisingly good, and Indiana and Virginia facing off. Oklahoma, Houston is a battle of unbeatens. Tulsa is 0-3. They play in the Turnpike Classic against Oklahoma State. Mizzou at Illinois is a rivalry. Both those teams are undefeated. Mizzou is ranked. Florida State at Georgia is a fun one. Florida goes to Arizona State in a ranked battle. Kansas State at Auburn is an undefeated matchup. The Civil War between Oregon and Oregon State is this week. Ohio State at Iowa. Utah State, Texas. Hawaii plays LSU. Hawaii has played some close games against some great teams. Where is game day? College game day is going to Georgia, Florida State. Interesting. I don't know if that would... Yeah, I think that would be my pick. Never mind. This is a really shitty week. Yeah, Georgia, Florida State. As the only ranked matchup is Florida, Arizona State. So that's not great. And this is going to round out the rest of the games this week. Alrighty, we are going to play our game against Louisiana. This should be a fun matchup. We should win by 1,000,000. Oh yeah, I am going to look at what game we're going to black out this year. We have not yet announced that. Ooh, Oklahoma first conference game. We could black out Texas, but we never do that. We're going to black out Oklahoma next week. They're undefeated. Unless they lose to Houston, they're going to come to town unbeaten and really be our first true test. So that's going to be... So yeah, that's going to be the look. Earl Rochelle leads his offense onto the field for game number 3 of the season. Louisiana comes to town. I will be right back to start this game, so everyone just hang tight. I'll be back in just a matter of moments. All right, we're back. And it's time to face off against Louisiana. Here comes Earl Rochelle. Here comes Amani Agba and the rest of this offense that was humming last week against Louisville and was doing the exact same thing against Lamar University last week. Here's 2nd and 10. Rochelle snaps it. They give. Amani Agba powers forward for the first. Rochelle snaps it. It's going to be dropped. Stupid Reggie Johns. Oh my God, he's so bad. And Rochelle, what does he throw? It's going to be 3rd and 10. Here's the throw. It's picked off. What a lurk from the DB. Holy cow. Rochelle just put too much air under that. Brent Gordon was able to lurk it. Malakuli Smith, the former Oklahoma State guy, is the starter for Louisiana. Here's the give. Amani Agba got helicoptered. Holy shit. Rochelle snaps it. Here comes the blitz. He's going to scramble. He's going to get a block and pick up the first. Doesn't do it well, but when he needs to, he will do it. Rochelle, the throw. It's caught. Jordan Washington, first down. Rochelle again. Rolling out, throwing it away. Didn't like the look. He's 1 for 6 passing with an interception. He's not looking too good. Rochelle gives it to Agba, not going to get anything. Louisiana's giving us some trouble right now. Caleb Duff with a great tackle there on our running back. Here's the screenplay. Agba with the catch. Now he's going to turn it upfield. Amani Agba outspeeding everyone to the end zone. Touchdown. His 2nd receiving score of the season. And it's a 39-yard play for Amani Agba. How about that? 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard gain for Amani now. Will pick up one more. 3rd down and 6 now for Amani Agba. Jordan Washington is open, over the middle. Our star tight end, the transfer from Texas, picks up the first. Now it's 1st and 10. Rochelle snaps it. Roll out. Thought about it. He could have threaded it there to Max LaBelle. Was open. DeAndre Ryden in at halfback right. They give it to him. Ryden is not going to get anything. 3rd and 10. Here's the throw. Nobody in the area, as we'll have to kick it away. Back to Louisiana as it's 7-0 right now. Rochelle not having a great game. We'll snap it. Here's the give. Amani Agba. Oh, speaking of not having a great game, this guy had one crazy catch, but he's been shut down other than him. Here's the throw. Celeste Miles makes the catch. He fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Ragin' Cajuns. Oh my God. Oh my God. Matt Cantwell, a guy I believe we went after the transfer portal on the recruiting trail or something. The name sounds too familiar. Able to pick it up, and it's another turnover for this Aggie offense. Rochelle scrambling. He gets hit out of bounds. It's no good. Our offense looks completely disoriented right now. So we're unable to move the ball through the air or on the ground. Amani Ogba is going to change that here, though. He gets 9. Brings up 3rd and 1. This is a very risky play call. I don't trust him. It's going to get Ogba to his zone. Here's the give. Ogba, first down. First and 10 for the Aggies. Here's the throw. It's caught. Max LaBelle picks up 6. Rochelle to LaBelle. That Lakers 5 connection keeps on going. Rochelle, plenty of time. Doesn't know where to go, so he'll scramble. He takes a shot. Picks up the first down nonetheless. 20 yards rushing play. Very much not a rushing quarterback. I would quickly take that. In motion is Tristan Norman. Play action. Jordan Washington's open. He puts it out in front of him, but way too far in front. That one falls incomplete. LaBelle gives it. Amani Ogba. Won't get anything again. Ogba's had a rough day today. So we've only got 7 points on the board here. And it's the mid-second quarter. A little concerning. Here's the throw. Washington won't corral him. From the 43, it'll be a 60-yard field goal from here. I trust our defense if we were to give them the ball at this point. Here's the throw. It's caught. Max LaBelle. Moving the chains. Rochelle, play action. Throwing over the middle. It's... I didn't even know what just happened. Like, I thought he caught it then. Oh, I thought he intercepted it, then I thought he tipped it up. But he caught it. Crazy stuff. 2nd and 10 on Rochelle. Giving it. Amani Ogba up the middle. Amani Ogba, when this guy gets an open space, is special. Play action, Rochelle. Scrambling out of his sack. It's a loss of 10. Joey Reese brought him down. Rochelle sends Reggie Johns in motion. Here's the pass for Johns. Johns will lose a yard. 3rd and 21 now. The screen pass worked for a touchdown last time. We'll see what it does here. When we get a block, we can. Amani Ogba getting close. Amani Ogba got really close. A 19-yard gain makes it 4th and 2 from the 3. We will go here. As here's the give. Rochelle, Ogba, touchdown. Amani with his 2nd score of the game. He's got 1 rushing, 1 receiving. And here it's a 2-minute drill for Earl Rochelle. As we're going to try and make this an even bigger lead. Here's the pass, caught by Max LaBelle. 2nd and inches. Earl's 9 of 19 is not particularly great. He's starting to find a rhythm, as is Amani Ogba. First down Aggies here. Amani is averaging over 5 yards a carry. Here's the snap. This one is caught. Tristan Norman. First down Aggies, timeout with 1:05 to play. This place is packed right now to see Earl Rochelle and company. Next week it's going to be absolutely coming with the blackout. Ogba couldn't get the spin move off. Now we run up tempo. .54 seconds. We give it back to Amani Ogba. Timeout Louisiana. That's super clutch. I would have had to run hurry up in that same shitty formation. Rochelle snaps it. The throw. Incomplete, intended for Jordan Washington. It worked last time going for it. Now we're going to do it again. Amani Ogba to the outside. Can he outspeed? Yes, he can. That's a touchdown, and that's a Heisman moment. Holy cow. Amani Ogba in for the hat trick here in the first half. It's 21-3, but oh my. Louisiana with a huge score. It's a 49-yard touchdown for the Ragin' Cajuns. Puts them within 11. Rochelle to give. Ogba here to end the half. Amani Ogba, no way. Did he do it? Yes, he did. That's a Heisman moment. A 73-yard touchdown with 2 seconds left in the half. We were just trying to get things over with. He just gave us 7 more points. And he's got all 4 touchdowns today. 3 rushing, 1 receiving. And he's got 152 all-purpose yards that I just see here in the second half. We're already given, or here in the first half, we're already giving it to him in the second. This is insane. This performance is genuinely crazy. Really pass lead for Washington, can't grab it. Again, we have not been able to throw the ball very well today. What we have been able to do is run the ball. Here's the snap. Throw, Celeste Miles. And it will be 4th and inches. No, we're not. We know we are not sending the field goal team out there. But we have an Amani Ogba on our side. Here's the give. Ogba breaking tackle, still pushing. 204 yards rushing today. And 58 yards receiving. That is insane. And that one's knocked away from Jordan Washington. The completion percentage for Earl Rochelle today is not going to look good. I've gathered that here. Here's the snap to throw. This time he gets to Washington. Jordan Washington with the touchdown. 18-yard score for our guy Jordan Washington. Rochelle, the snap. He will hit as he throws. It's picked off. Oh my. Rochelle turns it over for the second time passing today. It's his 3rd interception of the season. The freshman's going to make mistakes, but that wasn't a mistake. That was just an unlucky time to let go of the football. Rochelle now, nobody open. So sparse. So sparse. It's a loss of 3 to sack by Tre'Davious Bowers. Here's the give. Amani Ogba's carried us today. 211 rushing yards on 20 carries is insane. Liking the look of Max LaBelle here. Still like it. He's going to make the grab. First down, Aggies. Rochelle lobbing it up to the sideline. Max LaBelle makes the grab. First down, Aggies. What a well-placed ball by Rochelle. He's now back up to 50% completion. Really, we want to see that way higher. Here we run the same play. The throw. Caught. No. Dropped. At the last second, LaBelle got his hands on it. Here's the quick pass. Amani Ogba. Screen didn't work as well this time. He's dropped for just a 3-yard gain. 3rd and 7 from the 14. Aggies lead by 22. Rochelle throwing incomplete, intended for Reggie Jones. Now we'll kick the field goal, make it a 25-point lead. And we're only up by 18. The Ragin' Cajuns have fought today. They've played well. Rochelle lobbing it up. This is going to be a touchdown. Tristan Norman, they hit him in stride. And he walks into the end zone. Touchdown. Aggies take a bow. Tristan Norman. It's a 75-yard score. And now we get it right back. Gabriel Traore with an interception. Look who's out on the field at running back. Amani Ogba. We're going to try and get him his 5th score today. Hasn't scored since the 2nd quarter. Jacob Ponton's hurt. That is certainly not good. Ogba is out at receiver on this play. Here's a wide open Jordan Washington. Touchdown, Aggies. Washington with his second 2-score game of the season so far. It's 52-20. The defense has not been great today. We've given up 27 points to a Sun Belt opponent. Here's the snap. The throw incomplete. Rochelle, this is probably his last drive. We're up by 25. The main thing is, yeah, he's very injured right now. Yeah, like you can tell, if he's missing throws like that, there's a problem. Usually he's on the dime with those plays. Actually, that was it. Oh my God, he did. LaBelle beat him by a step, makes the grab in stride, and he's off to the races. Touchdown, Aggies. It's 59-27. LaBelle and Rochelle with that Lakers in 5 connection. No way we're about to let him score again. Okay, we get it back. How about that? Coaching, mass sub those backups again, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, Rochelle's going to scramble for a first down. He's so injured, but he did it. So there go all the starters. They're off the field. And now it's the youngsters. And Mike Hawkins, as he's back. Hawkins throws the completion. Raphael Biggers in at running back. Biggers gets the throw. Up the middle. Maybe 3 yards. Hawkins throwing. It's Javu Rome. Rome makes the catch. The freshman with elite development, the 4-star recruit, moving the chains. Hawkins rolling around. Throwing. It's caught by Celeste Miles. A 9-yard gain for Miles. Hawkins threads the needle there. Here's the give. Ryden breaks free. First down, DeAndre Ryden. And we'll go to the 2-minute timeout. Hawkins has been elite today. In limited time, like you see how everything's going right now. The play calling. There he's able to get rid of it. The pressure came. Tre'Davious Bowers has been a difference maker for this Louisiana squad. This one is completed, and for Charles, I believe that's his first catch of his collegiate career. I want to get another Jabu Rome touchdown. Hawkins snaps it. Think he might have had it. No, it's intercepted. The 3rd interception of the game for the Aggie offense. Again, we're turning it over quite a bit, but it's with our backup quarterback. Oh, we get it back. And it's over. 59-27. Another huge victory. Rochelle's worst game, Ogba's best. You know, I'm fine with that. Amani Ogba put on a show. 4 touchdowns in the first half, including a 73-yarder on a just regular inside zone to end the half is utterly insane. That is absolute bonkers, my friends. We are still second in the nation at 3-0. Amani Ogba's SEC Offensive Player of the Week, obviously. He is National Offensive Player of the Week. And like I said, exactly as planned, we are undefeated as undefeated Oklahoma comes to town. Earl Rochelle has been great. Amani Ogba just had the game of his life. Max LaBelle over 300 receiving. Norman, Washington, Johns. Ogba's been a good receiving pass catcher. The blocking has been improved this season, especially Jacob Ponton. Been a lot better. Lamont Rogers, Sendero Fu is still good. J.R. Sills, the first-year starter with the elite development trait, is yet to let up a sack. Chad Woodfork had 2.5 sacks in that game yesterday. Demontre Trapuka with 2 interceptions in that game. He is a beast. Miles Davis, we're really getting a lot of interceptions this year. That's something we did last year as well. Taking a look at the recruiting trail, I will mess with this after the game and after we do look at the scores from week 3. Week 3 nationally, Duke, oh my God, they walloped Temple. Tulane upsets Iowa State, showing why maybe they should have been in the Big 12. Notre Dame beats Arkansas, who's somehow still ranked. Washington wins the Apple Cup. Memphis upsets Mississippi State. Vanderbilt beats NC State by 1. North Texas is a good program. They could get in promotion soon if they continue to play well and recruit well. Michigan with a close victory. Indiana's offense is very good. Penn State with a close victory on the road. Missouri with a rivalry win. They're still ranked. UAB is undefeated and ranked. Georgia, for the second year in a row, barely beats Florida State. This is now 2 straight years where they've been number 1 in the country and they've beaten Florida State by 3 or less. The Noles gave Georgia a lot to worry about. Arizona State upsets Florida. Brian Davey and company are now out of the rankings, whereas Arizona State's undefeated. Oregon wins. They're 4th in the country. Ohio State wins. Texas with the win. They're undefeated. Miami's undefeated. LSU with a win. Aaron Noland and company with a win. TCU is undefeated. Boise State is undefeated. Bill Belichick's squad is in the top 10. How about UNC, Bama, and George Yancey with a big win? Kentucky's unbeaten. Colorado almost lost to FCS. That would be Fire Dion range. Marshall's 0-3. They lose to an FCS school. UMass Kent State was a classic. Who would have thought? Kent State is 0-3 since the big upset victory over Rutgers. Clemson with another big blowout win. And that's it for last week. I forgot to look at this week. Who's playing this week? Well, taking a look at it, USC hosts Iowa. Auburn hosting Florida. If Florida starts this year 1-3, based on how good they've played and based on how good their team is, with the best receiver in the country, Dallas Wilson, who might just be the best player in college football, other than George Yancey, and Brian Davey at quarterback, this is a team that should be natty contenders. They should make the playoffs. But if they start out 1-3 and possibly eliminating themselves that early on would be crazy. Kentucky, Arkansas is an interesting matchup. Alabama, Oklahoma State is a fun ranked battle. Pitt at UCF. Pitt has a chance to go 5-0. North Carolina hosting James Madison, a team that's given them trouble in the past. Purdue at Penn State. Ole Miss in the Magnolia Bowl against LSU. The Rebels with a chance to get a big upset. Mizzou at Texas, battle of the unbeatens. Longhorns win this game, and I'd say they should definitely be in the top 25. Kansas has as good of an offense as anybody. They host Wazoo. Michigan at Rutgers should be in the walk in the park, considering Rutgers lost to Kent State. Georgia hosts South Carolina in the game of the week. Ranked battle. College game day is going to be there. Second week in a row, they've gone to Athens. Ohio State hosts Minnesota. Boise State goes to FIU in a battle of unbeatens. If the Broncos avoid the upset, they will be 4-0 going into conference play. But yeah, let's play this game, and then that's where I'm going to leave this episode. We host Oklahoma in the blackout at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I guess it would be. Texas A&M hosts Oklahoma in the blackout. This is our first time playing against the Sooners since we left the Big 12. Here come the Aggies in the blackout crowd, blackout uniforms. To face off against a 4-0 Oklahoma team. These guys aren't ranked, but they're no joke. Cole Welliver is one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and of course we get sacked on the first play. We are absolutely going to rely on Amani Ogbah. Here's an RPO. Pass is caught by Reggie Johns. Sheds a tackle and picks up 9. Deontay Benedict on the tackle. Here's 3rd and 8. Rochelle, the snap. He's hit as he throws. Incomplete. The Aggies with a 3-and-out. They'll punt it to Oklahoma. And the Sooners get 6. They're off to an early lead here. As Earl Rochelle with his biggest game of his career. The handoff Amani Ogbah. First down. If Rochelle struggles, Mike Hawkins will come in with a chance to prove himself against his former team. Here's the give. Amani Ogbah. First down. Granted, pretty much none of Hawkins' old teammates are still on the squad. Rochelle, here's the give. Amani Ogbah will only get 1 on 2nd and 7. Brings up 3rd and 6. 6-7. Here's the snap. Rochelle is sacked again. Anthony DeBerry brings him down. Could an upset be brewing in College Station as the Sooners give it back to the Aggies in prime field position. Here's the snap. Rochelle throwing. It's Jordan Washington wide open with his 5th receiving touchdown of the year. Washington gets in the end zone, and the Aggies tie it up. But Oklahoma is able to come right back. They retake the lead. RPO passes caught by Reggie Johns. Cole Welliver's 2 of 8. Our defense has held him to the minimum quite well. It's just everything else hasn't been great. Here's a lob pass. Max LaBelle comes down with it. Moss is the defender, and then is going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. Max LaBelle is here, and he is a superstar, folks. A 68-yard touchdown for Texas A&M ties things up as we're knotted at 14 here in the blackout game. Here's a throw on the run. Rochelle tried to Patrick Mahomes it. It was inaccurate. Intended for Norman. Rochelle screens it for Amani Ogbah. Doesn't have any blockings. Still stiff arms it, but coughs it up. It's picked up by the Sooners. Oklahoma with instant possession inside the 20, and they will score, taking the lead. The Sooners had over double our time of possession. Hand off to Ogbah, who coughed it up in the last play. Here's the snap. Throw, Reggie Johns in stride, first down for the Aggies. Rochelle winning the quarterback matchup. It's just the fumble by Ogbah. And just the fact that we haven't been able to get the run game established whatsoever. Amani's going back 5 yards after having nearly 300 yards of total offense in just the first half last week. Ogbah's gone cold. Here's a throw. It is caught. How about Tristan Norman making a crazy play there? Rochelle snaps it. Here's the throw over the middle. It's Max LaBelle for the first down. 7-yard gain for him. Now we're trying to stretch this to a tie game once again before halftime. Agba tackled for a loss again. It's a loss of 2. He is just, the life has been sucked out of him in this game. Rochelle snaps it. He's got LaBelle one-on-one again. Can he do it again? He can't. Overthrown. We are not yet in Jamie Sosa's field goal. Here's the snap. Lob up for LaBelle. Dangerously underthrown. Tipped and intercepted. You'll have to punt it away. Losing is not a good look. We get it back. 1st and 10. We need to tie this game before half. Here's the give. Amani Agba finally with his best carry of the game. It's a 9-yard gain. Still with under 20 yards, or still at 20 yards, averaging under 3 yards a carry today. Here's a throw picked off. Oklahoma with the interception. It's the 4th of the season for Earl Rochelle, and they make it a 28-14 game. Now it's an even more urgent time to score. Rochelle feeling the loudness of his own stadium. Here he throws on the run. It's caught by Max LaBelle. No, it's dropped. LaBelle unable to corral it. 2nd and 10. We need Amani Agba 97-yard touchdown. We got a 0-yard gain. Third and 10. We basically got to give up here. Give him the ball back. Again, Amani Agba going backwards 2 yards. We have a chance to go down by 3 scores before halftime because of Amani Agba's stinkiness. And we do. We go down by 3 scores with a minute left in the half. This is a nightmare. Here's the snap. Rochelle throwing. It's picked off again. Oklahoma is going to go up by 4 scores before halftime if they're able to put this in, which they get a field goal. Yeah, they're up by 24 right now. We are getting shit on in the blackout. Rochelle with 2 picks today. This entire team is in shambles right now. Here's the throw. Jordan Washington makes the grab, but it's only 4 yards. We need fucking 24 points, and all the ball can get is 4 yards. That's a problem. Rochelle, the give. It's Amani Agba. Picks up the 1st down. Timeout Aggies. That's their final one of the half. Again, down by 24. This is almost an impossible game to come back from. Here's the pass. Reggie Johns picks up the 1st down. Tick, tick, tick. 10 seconds left. Are the Aggies going to be able to move, get another snap off? I don't know if they will. 10 seconds, and now counting for Texas A&M. Here they snap it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He didn't get out of bounds. That's the end of the half. It's 38-14. Oklahoma exploded for 24 straight against us. As Ricky Hunt Jr., that's a guy I recruited out of the transfer portal, but he just didn't want to come to our school. Even worse, they get the ball out of half. If they score, this game is over already. And they did. 45-14. What is happening? What happened? Rochelle, the give. Amani Agba is not going to go anywhere. This Oklahoma team is insane. Rochelle throws. It's caught by Agba. It'll be 3rd and 1. Agba up the middle. 1st down, Aggies. Aggie fans are devastated as the team is about to go 0-1 in conference play. after starting the year ranked number 2 in the country. That one's overthrown. Lamont Rogers is injured. Ogba gets the carry. He'll only get 3. Yeah, Aggies fans cannot believe what they're seeing, as yet again their team has been overrated in the preseason. They're going to lose to an unranked opponent in their first game of conference play at home as well in the blackout. Everyone was excited. Washington with the speed boost. He's going to pick up the first down. Rogers is injured again. Max LaBelle open down the sideline. He's going to make a touchdown grab. But it's just too little too late. They're still down by 24, folks. They're still losing by 24 fucking points. They're driving. They just made it a 27-point deficit for Texas A&M. That's not good. Rochelle snaps it. Doesn't know where to go. He'll scramble. Takes a shot. My goodness. I mean, he's got LaBelle in press coverage again, but... oh my. LaBelle kicks it up in the air. That was scary. But it falls incomplete. Maybe Norman gets open? Elfer sack. It's a loss of 6. James Nestor with the interception. With the sack. LaBelle is open. He doesn't even make the grab. That's the game. I hate that I said that. That's the game. There's 8 minutes left. It's 51-21. We're getting shit on by an unranked team at home as the number 2 team in the country. This is just horrible. This is sad to watch, gang. Rochelle scrambling. He's got all the room in the world. First down, Aggies. Yeah, this is just too little too late, folks. We're down by 30. We are officially frauds again. This is horrible. Here's the snap. Rochelle tries to run up the middle and gets sacked. Johnny Bowens with the sack. Norman's open. That's going to be a touchdown. But again, it's too little too late. We're down by 30. Jamie Sosa needing several onside kicks to go his way. This one doesn't. We're down by 23 right now. We need a quick turnover. That's what we got. So, still down by 24. 4 minutes left. This is impossible to come back from. We can make it look closer than it really was. Rochelle scrambling. He's sacked again. It's the 5th of the night for Oklahoma. Johnny Ecker, the Will linebacker, brought him down. Rochelle throwing. It's Amani Ogba. First down, Aggie. Not first down. 16 yards for Ogba on that play. We will run the hurry-up offense. And he's sacked again. Rochelle going down. No blocking whatsoever. Tristan Johnson, who forced the fumble that Ogba had earlier. Johns, he's not going to pick up that first down. Oklahoma gets it back. Rochelle over 300 passing, but it doesn't freaking matter. 54-28 with 2 minutes left. Oh my God, he just threw a fucking third interception. Holy cow. Oh, Shell. Oh, he's so horrible. But he's not. Like, this is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare to end things off with, folks. As Oklahoma comes into our house and beats us by 26. It's going to be the end of the episode.